Hey everybody, T-Man again, bringing you guys another video, and this one will be doing my Fastlane review video, guys. Alright, hopefully it's Monday now. Hopefully everyone's having a great day, getting all geared up for tonight's Monday Night Raw. And this video is going to be shooting about what I thought of last night's pay-per-view. Before I get into that, a little bit of updates. I'm thinking pretty soon, maybe in the next couple weeks, I'm thinking about having my first Q&A videos, and I'll be promoting that on my Twitter. I'm at Expert of Pro Wrestling. You can follow me on Twitter if you're not already doing so. And so you guys could ask questions underneath or whatever. Probably maybe pretty soon when I get enough questions, I will be doing a Q&A video, be doing some more wrestling profile videos. Each major match of WrestleMania, I'll probably be shooting a match of. This Thursday, I'll probably be doing a Lucha Underground review, doing more of those as well. And also, I got something special in the works, hopefully in the next couple weeks. As you guys know, Friday night I went to an event here in the LA area with former WWE, WCW, TNA writer Mr. Vince Russo, and he agreed to come on this show via Skype and shoot a video here with me. So I will be having a Vince Russo interview on this channel sometime in the next couple weeks. We're gonna try to set that up. So that's just a quick little review of things that I'm having in store for you guys. And also, if you guys have any suggestions on videos or comments that you would like me to do a video on, I would be happy to do a video on it if I get enough people. And if it's a good idea for a video, I will shoot a video on it. Okay, let's move on. Last night, I'll tell you, man, you talk about competition for a Sunday night of entertainment, man. You had a lot of things you guys could have watched last night. I mean, you had the Oscars, for one, was on last night. The Oscars. Shout out to the Birdman movie, who won for Best Picture and Best Director. I saw that movie. That was a little bit weird, but I wouldn't call it Best Picture of the Year. But then again, I haven't watched a lot of those movies this year. And anyways, moving on from that, you had a UFC Fight Night on last night on Fox Sports 1 with Bigfoot Silva taking on Frank Mir. And then you had, of course, the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view on the WWE Network for $9.99. A little cheap plug there. So what did I think of this pay-per-view? Honestly, I wish I had one of those things on my TV, one of those features where I could watch 3 things at once. But since I was on my PlayStation 3, I can't really do that. I should have just busted out my laptop while I had people over. The Fastlane pay-per-view to me was very, very forgettable. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. For you Catholic people, it was purgatory. It was, oh, it's not bad. This is not good, you know, this is just whatever. I mean, that's what it really felt like to me. Like I said, I've said this before leading up to Fastlane. It's always a very hard pay-per-view. The pay-per-view right before WrestleMania is a very hard thing to do. I felt like last night was kind of a glorified episode of Raw, and actually really even some Raw episodes were kind of better than what we saw last night. Not the recent Raws, but I'm saying some Raws in general were kind of better than what we saw last night. And not to mention, I will say one thing. I was wrong about, I mean, I'm not one of those guys who would deny it. I was wrong about a lot of the outcomes. Kind of surprised me of some of the matches that happened. Now, saying that, I wasn't mad about any of the finishes I saw last night. They made sense, and I was happy about every single one of the finishes. But at the same time, it just didn't do anything to me. The way a lot of the matches were executed, the way some of the matches were, the way the finishes were booked, I thought could have been a little bit better. Let's start from the beginning. And I didn't write any notes today, so I'm just shooting. So if I leave a match out, please forgive me and don't go all over about it to me. But I'm just shooting in this video, just me talking to you, no notes. thoughts and just giving my opinion. So the first match of the card, which I thought maybe should have been the second match or the third match. The first match was excuse me, Seth Rollins, Kane and the Big Show, The Authority, taking on Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and the Ryback. And I thought the finish of this match was really bad. Wasn't really good. It was really bad. Because leading into this, they said that they want to make Seth Rollins looking really strong heading into WrestleMania. And they want the last thing you see the pay-per-view it was Seth Rollins, or not the last thing at the pay-per-view, but the big feature in your head was Seth Rollins looking strong. You didn't get that. And I thought in this finish, it didn't really matter. Matter of fact, I forgot who I said was going to win in this prediction video. I think I might have said Seth Rollins. But I thought the finish was really bad. You had Big Show and Kane being the ones that took Dolph Ziggler out and getting the pin. I thought that was booked wrong. I didn't mind them winning the match. It made sense, but I think Seth Rollins should have been the one who defeated Dolph Ziggler. I thought that was a must. But really, I would have liked to see just Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins tear down the house having a one-on-one match. I don't think it needed that that six-man tag action, and especially the finish. I thought it could have been booked really different. And then Randy Orton made his premiere back, his return back on TV, because he has been doing a lot of house shows. He's been back for the last few weeks working house shows. I thought it was really, I don't even think it was executed right. The way he came out, it didn't seem too much of a surprise. We were all expecting him to come back. I actually probably would have waited to have Randy Orton come back tonight on Raw. Maybe make Raw a little bit more special. I don't think, and the way they had it on that first match like that, I understand the way they were hoping for it to book, putting that match as first, setting the tone for the night. Sometimes you'll put a really great hot match first to set the tone. I don't think that match came out as good as WWE hoped on paper, because to me, like, I think it was poorly executed the way Randy Orton came out. He came out in his ring gear or whatever, and they booked it as Randy Orton was running from not Randy Orton, Seth Rollins was running away from Randy Orton. I'm okay with that. I would have had Randy Orton come out in his street clothes. I mean, he looked like he was all ready for competition in his trunks and shirt, and he was completely in his ring gear. I would have had him in his street clothes and, you know, saying, hey, you know, he's back, he's looking for a fight. I would have had him maybe come out through the fans or something. I think it was just executed poorly. Moving on from there, we got the Dust Brothers, Stardust taking on Goldust, and this actually surprised me a little bit. I thought Stardust was going to win. Obviously, the feud is continuing, but Goldust won the match, roll him up, and then I'm okay with it. I was just surprised. I thought Stardust was going to win the match, but Goldust rolled him up or whatever, and was hoping after he beat him and maybe humanized him, Stardust, a little bit, that he would come back. And then backstage, they showed him backstage after Goldust won, and Stardust attacked him. Very forgettable, and I may be going out of order in this review, but we move on to Sting and Triple H, which we all knew was going to wrestle at WrestleMania. It was really cool. It was a nice little segment. Finally got to see Sting's baseball bat pointed at Triple H's throat. Thought that was really cool. Hopefully a lot of fans were misled, which I think they were. A lot of fans really thought that there was going to be a wrestling match between the two, between Sting and Triple H. And I've been telling everybody on my review videos, it's not a match. Leading up to it's not a match, but a lot of people thought it was going to be a match. But it's going to be a hell of a one at WrestleMania. But anyways, it was a cheap little promo segment. Like I said, it made you kind of think of a Monday Night Raw, the way this show was booked. Nikki and Paige, like I said, always wrong on that. Nikki won the match, Paige lost. A little surprise there. Maybe AJ Lee's going to come back at WrestleMania. Maybe that's why Paige didn't win, since they had Paige and and AJ so many times. I heard AJ's getting ready to make an in-ring return, I've heard. Moving on from there, we had probably one of the worst finishes of the night. Dean Ambrose taking on Bad News Barrett. This was a really bad finish, guys. That match ended by Dean Ambrose kind of just, you know, kicking and stomping Bad News Barrett into the ropes. And I guess this is kind of an old school rule, you know, when the wrestler's in the ropes and you're kicking and stomping, you have a count to 5 to break when you're at the ropes, or it's a disqualification. They probably haven't really utilized that rule in probably, Jesus, 15, 20 years, maybe longer. I mean, in a WWE ring, I haven't seen someone get disqualification for not breaking with the ropes in forever. You talk about a horrible, cheap finish. Dean Ambrose gets disqualified because of that. And right there and then, I was kind of scratching my head, and I'm like, uh-oh, where are we going? Because I was hoping in my head we were going to see a Dolph Ziggler Dean Ambrose match. Dolph Ziggler Dean Ambrose for the IC title. Because, you know, I heard that the Dolph Ziggler Daniel Bryan match got scrapped. Now, I don't think that's the case, and I'm going to move on to that in the main event. Got the tag team title match. I was very surprised on that outcome, too, a little bit. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, which everyone knows I'm a big fan of both of those guys in their in-ring work. They beat the Usos. I was a little surprised by that, because I was thinking the Usos was going to face the Ascension, and because I just thought Vince McMahon was all behind the Ascension. Wow, he actually gave the straps to Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Very surprised, interested to see where that's going. Move on to a promo segment from Bray Wyatt, getting the fans all excited. This was probably, for me, the highlight of the night. This was the most exciting segment of the night, and that was when Bray Wyatt came out through the Undertaker music, getting pushed in a coffin. He was in the coffin. Everyone thought it was the Undertaker, and pretty much shooting a promo. I mean, for weeks he's been shooting dark promos, claiming that, you know, talking about somebody, and he made it quite clear that, as we all knew, that he was talking about the Undertaker. Very cool little promo. I mean, the lead up to the match and everything about the match, it's going to be very good. The lead up, seeing the Undertaker, all that's going to be cool. But you guys know my thoughts on that. I just don't think it has the same pizzazz Bray Wyatt and Undertaker. I think it would have if the streak was intact, and I've talked about that many times. I mean, if you were ever going to end the streak, I think Bray Wyatt should have did it, because Vince always talks about, like I said, first of all, I don't think the streak should have ever ended, but if it did, I think definitely Bray Wyatt should have been the one to end it, because Vince always like, oh, you know, it's all about passing down the torch, and who realistically would be the one to break it. And I've talked about this maybe every time I talk about the streak ending. Bray Wyatt, the guy that's going to continue being the Dark Force, and in his promo, that's pretty much what Bray Wyatt said. He was like, you know, I'm the new dark guy in WWE, or something along those lines, paraphrasing here. So really cool thing. And you know, another thing is, I didn't like the way the broadcast team and all that we're talking about the Bray Wyatt promo after. They were saying, oh, I hope Bray Wyatt didn't bit too much off that he can chew and all that, saying, oh, you know, the dead man, and he's a legend, and me, and all that. Remember, last time we saw The Undertaker was at WrestleMania 30, when he was broken down forever. They should be saying, instead of saying, oh, I think Bray bit too much more than he could chew, they should be more booking it all along the lines of, oh, we haven't seen The Undertaker since WrestleMania 30. How will he come back from his first loss at WrestleMania? No one has seen him since WrestleMania 30. What is The Undertaker thinking of this? Is he broken? Can he come back? Will he answer the challenge? Since this is the direction they want to go in. Not, oh, I hope Bray's not, you know, knocking down on a dangerous door here. No. Question The Undertaker, you know, go along that route. That's the way I would book it. Moving on from there, we have Cena and Rusev, which was a great match. I loved the finish of that match. Absolutely loved the finish of the match. And the finish of the match, to me, even though it's been done so many times and you've heard me critique the Rusev finishes so many times with everyone just passing out, a time like this against Cena is when a passing out is okay, because John Cena's moniker never give up. And that's why, like, when you do it so many times, when you really want to do it for tonight, it kind of loses its luster. But since that's John Cena's gimmick, never give up, I think it's perfect. And not to mention the story that they've been telling for the last few weeks on Raw. If you remember, they've been booking this angle as Cena's too old, Cena's lost his lost the step, he's becoming an old man now. I liked how they put, because it made sense, because after the match, really pay attention to how John Cena was acting after he lost and after he woke up, because the finish of the match was, you know, he got kicked in the nuts and then he got knocked out with a kick, and then Rusev put him in the Accolade submission move, and the referee was puzzled that he was out, stopped the match. Rusev won. And then after Rusev and all that celebrated and left the ring, Cena kind of woke up and he looked broken. Yeah, you know, and you know, Cena was, you know, of course, put it on that act. Great acting by John Cena. And then the announcers complimented that story they've been telling with being too old, saying, how will John Cena come back from this loss? Is he broken? You know, and it's going to set up a really good story, because obviously, you know, you're going to see the rematch at WrestleMania. And then most likely John Cena's probably going to win that match, rising above all of it. Just the storytelling they're showing will rise above that and win the match. Most likely at WrestleMania. Even though, like, I wouldn't mind seeing Rusev going over 2 times on John Cena to really solidify Rusev as a main event player. No, I think Cena's gonna win, and with the story that they're telling on TV, I'm completely okay with. Now, here's the shocking match of the night. Let's move on to the main event. Daniel Bryan and holy shit, Roman Reigns. Sorry, my mind went blank there for a minute. This match was okay. You could clearly tell throughout the match Daniel Bryan was carrying the match, and he was carrying it, but Roman Reigns, he executed the big power moves where it was needed. He did a good job with that. And of course, in the end of the match, having Roman Reigns winning the match. Now, I was surprised, because I've heard in a lot of websites that it was going to be a triple threat match. Personally, I'm happy. I'm happy everybody was wrong. I've been commenting on this for a long time. No doubt about it. I've talked about it many times that I thought the finish of the Royal Rumble, or actually the booking of the Royal Rumble, was wrong. It was horrible. They made Roman Reigns look very bad in that Royal Rumble. The way they booked it, the arena they had in Philly, so many things about that was wrong. And but like I said, I've said many times that I didn't mind seeing Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar one-on-one. It made a lot of sense. I understand with the story they were wanting to tell. And, you know, I've been saying Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Brock triple threat, because that's what everybody's been saying. That's been the rumor. Obviously, that's just rumor, because Roman Reigns beat Daniel Bryan clean, 1, 2, 3. Beat him clean in the ring, and so now that's going to set up, and that's good. They're staying the course, and obviously WWE did this with Daniel Bryan just to give the Daniel Bryan people, fans, just some closure, you know, because that Royal Rumble was really, it was bad booking. It was really bad booking the way Daniel Bryan. So it was almost like Vince McMahon, and everyone says, here, okay, we're going to give you guys a shot. Get it out of your system. And you know what was funny about this match is, I want everybody to go back, if you guys did not notice this. Look at what happened when Roman Reigns won. When Roman Reigns won, it was a very silent crowd. It was crickets. I mean, you saw a couple of claps over here. It seemed like the fans just didn't care. Now, you know, I think they were just surprised by the outcome. I think they were very surprised. And I understand what Vince wanted to do, giving Daniel Bryan a chance or whatever, but I think you gave a lot of people false hope. And even though they weren't booing or nothing, they didn't care. And to me, that's a bigger reaction to me than booing somebody. You know, booing someone, you're getting a reaction. even if it's saying bullshit, this is a horrible finish, or whatever you're chanting, they're reacting. Now, when you're not reacting to a finish at all, and you're just simply walking out of the arena when it's over without clapping or whatever, like I said, go back when Roman Reigns makes the win. You don't see any claps. You'll see a couple throughout, a couple diehard Roman Reigns fans clapping or whatever. But it was a very we don't care. We don't care what you're telling us. Now, I think that was a mistake having Roman Reigns wrestle Daniel Bryan at the pay-per-view. If Daniel Bryan was never going to be in the triple threat, and all this was just rumors that everybody's been saying, they should have never entertained the idea, because no one really cared. I think there shouldn't even been a question mark if Roman Reigns was going to be in the main event. If that was the plan, you tell the fans, this is what it is. Like it or not, here's what it is. But it seems like the fans are okay with Roman Reigns, even though they just really don't care. And the interesting thing that I want to know now is, who's Daniel Bryan going to face? Because now it's back. Now, it's so funny. These wrestling websites, they've been saying forever now, the last few weeks, triple threat, triple threat. And then now, right after the event, and we saw clearly that Roman Reigns won, now everybody wants to say, oh yeah, the backstage rumor and the backstage report from WWE is saying that Daniel Bryan is no doubt going to wrestle Sheamus or Dolph Ziggler. Back to Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus now. Though that same websites, and I'm not going to say those websites' names, those same websites that have been saying, oh, triple threat at Mania. Now all of a sudden, oh yeah, they're saying, they don't know, guys. They're guessing. And, that's what those websites do. I'm not bashing them or nothing, but I think it's kind of funny. They've been saying triple threat, and now all of a sudden, oh no, it was always going to be Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus. I'll tell you one thing: it better not be Sheamus. Go ahead, let Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan steal the show. If Daniel Bryan's not going to be in the main event, have him face Dolph Ziggler. It's going to make everybody happy, and they're going to steal the show together. Sheamus would not make sense other than Triple H and WWE wanting to promote Sheamus, and I have a feeling they're going to do that. I have a feeling they're going to go in the Sheamus route for a lot of reasons, because WWE wants to push Sheamus over Dolph Ziggler, and they're going to push Sheamus as a heel, which I agree with. He's going to be a big money-making heel. I have no doubt about that. Even though the WWE Universe likes Dolph Ziggler a lot more, they're going to shove Sheamus down our throats as a heel, and it's going to work. But yeah, not to mention Sheamus is Triple H's boy, I hear. And he's going to shove us in that lane. Honestly, I don't want to see Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. I'd rather take a nap. Anyways, that was your pay-per-view. A very forgettable pay-per-view. It kind of reminded me of a Raw minus. It kind of reminded me of a commercial-free Raw with less talking promo segments. Very forgettable. Really, whatever. Even though some of the finishes surprised me and stuff, it was still just a forgettable pay-per-view. Wasn't bad, but wasn't good. It was purgatory. It was okay. That's all it was. It was just okay. Didn't make me excited to see anything. But Raw tonight should be very good. We'll be shooting out my Raw review. Maybe not tomorrow. It'll probably come late. It'll probably come Wednesday, my Raw review. Because tomorrow I am expecting a new bed in my house. So the delivery times will be coming around the same time I do my videos. So I'll probably be doing my review on Thursday. Not Thursday, Wednesday. But I will be on the Twitter tonight during Raw. So you guys can hear from me on Raw tonight on Twitter at Expert of Professional Wrestling, or Pro Wrestling, I think it is. But until the next video, hopefully everyone's good, and I'll see you for the next one. Take care, guys.